engagement, the series, social media series, right? So, for those who actually know, I also have an actual TV show where I cover a whole lot of in depth, you know, insights and also have guests on. So this engagement is one of those that I really enjoy because it's more interactive. So if you're joining, please welcome, feel comfortable. I want you to introduce yourself, engage, ask questions. This is the fun. This is part of the fun of this type of easy, less structured approach to online engagement. So I really do enjoy it. That's why I keep doing this. Anyway, today I'm bringing you the topic of navigating the three stages, the three growth stages of a business, right? The build, grow, scale phase. So I'm going to dive deeply into it. So depending on what stage you're in, right? I'm sure you're going to be able to walk away with something interesting, something new, something that you can actually implement in your own business as well. So welcome everyone joining. I know we have a global audience. So thank you again. And for those who may not know my background, right? Previously, I served as a strategist at the headquarters of Walmart, so Fortune One. And so, really coming into this landscape of entrepreneurship, business development, um, oftentimes I think what I bring is like an overkill, simply because the strategies that I'm used to designing and building is for the Fortune One, the biggest company in the world, the systems, structures, right? I'm also a certified SAP consultant. I don't talk much about it, but for over a decade, right? Um, right? For over a decade, right? I was designing the back end solutions and systems and structures for the biggest brands in the world, right? So I come to this landscape fully equipped, right, to serve the biggest brands in the world. And my own personal journey as an entrepreneur, when I left, corporate and I stepped out into the world, that's when I really realized, wait a minute, this landscape is so like unregulated in the sense of people don't have support, structured support, instructional manual, guidance, support in a way that helps them accelerate and speed up expansion. So that's what I've done. I've tried to do for my clients and customers. And this led me to create the Entrepreneurs Academy, my books, all of those things to really help those who want to fast track their journey to business growth and success, right? When I bring these business strategies, right, when you implement them, you will achieve results faster. So when you think about build phase, growth phase, and the scale phase, the beginning journey, right, is that in a way you have to begin with the end in mind. That's the first thing I want to share with you if you're an entrepreneur. Begin with the end in mind. The reason is because the foundation you have to put in place for a one-story building or a two-story building versus a 10-story building is not the same. The mindset required is not the same. And what I have found is that many people get stuck at the beginning build phase simply because they are not building structures. They're not building assets, right? That can hold equity, that is valuable, right? And it's that journey of going not just from entrepreneur's mindset, you actually have to also shift into a business ownership mindset. And there are several things you have to put in place for you to make that shift, right? Because the entrepreneur knows how to bring their ideas to life, but the business owner is the one that operates. It's the operational mindset. But you have to put structures in place that you will now run. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do if you're an entrepreneur is think structure, think processes, think systems first before you start thinking about money, 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 money. The reason is because the structure helps you with getting more money long term. When I say more money, more customers, more clients, right? Long term, not just short term, but long term, right? So in the build phase, what are you supposed to be doing? Right? Market research, designing products and services, establishing your brand, right? Gaining recognition, introducing your work, listening to the marketplace, figuring out your niche market. Who do you want to serve? What are they navigating? Right? What systems are you going to put in place? Your intake process, your vendor process, right? Supplier vendor process, right? Employee process. Like the build phase is where you put the structures in place to support delivery of value delivery, right? In a way that is sustainable. Many of the things I see people do today, ask yourself, is it sustainable? Can you continue at this pace without systems, right? Can you really continue what you're doing for the next 5, 10, right, years? At what point do you shift? Because many people hope that something will change. But if you don't change, nothing changes in business. So what I find is that the mindset of the first phase is, it has to be the mindset of a builder. You have to be building, right? You have to think of yourself as building, putting something in place that is beyond you. Because when you don't have anything outside of you, people get stuck, okay, doing everything, and then they never can come out of that. They in a way, the employee mindset creates survival as well. So many people build survival business instead of a legacy business, simply because they didn't replace the employee mindset with the entrepreneur's mindset. That's why I talk about mindset of an entrepreneur, is that when you come out of the corporate world, like I did, and if you don't shift your mindset, that mindset will create the same reality, now even worse. Because at least the employer bears the burden of paying your salary, so you can rest, relax, and do your work. But when you become an entrepreneur, you need to adopt the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I'm saying the best mindset is one that builds. What are you going to build? And building has to do with the investment of time, energy, and resources, creating value. You have to create value for your business before you start creating value for clients and customers. Because the value you create for your business, okay, is the one that will help you, it will serve you long term. Many times we create value, services, products that you want to push out there, but also building a system that you can leverage that can accelerate and speed this up. Again, because if this is something that you intend to grow and scale, that's why I say you have to build it right. Making sure the foundation is in place, the pillars of growth, right? The business structure that will support the next dimension of your business, making sure that it's in place. When people don't complete that circle, people don't come out of that circle. If you don't build it right, the moment you try to grow, you find that there are constraints and limitations, right? Taking your business to the next dimension, right? If you don't have a structure that will help you take it to that next dimension, many people come back again. So I see a lot of people spiraling in the phase one. The way you go from phase one to phase two is that you actually have structures that has been tested, that works. You bring in clients, you bring in customers, you're able to serve people in a way that you feel rested and comfortable, because part of it is also establishing the business, right? If you don't feel established, if you don't feel established, the business is not established. You will know. When your business is established, you would know, meaning people, you know who you are, you know what it is you can do for people. The world knows who you are, they know what you can do for people. You have messaging that attracts people, people want to work with you, right? You are, instead of you chasing people, you have structures in place that is attracting flow, right? You have to build this ecosystem where people can come to you. Okay, so it's a different mindset, it's a unique mindset as well. Okay, so the build phase requires you not to attempt, if you want to grow, like I always say, if, because what I preach may not be for everybody. It may not be for everybody, because again, I'm coming from working for the largest company in the world. When I make, design strategies and I advise executives at the biggest brands in the world, they listen and they implement. Right? They listen and they implement, because listen, when you want to scale, right? When it comes to digital acceleration, omni-channel strategy, right? All of these advanced things, Like, that's my background. That's my background. So I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. And what I've done is to, in a way, design roadmaps for success, accelerators, sales accelerators, business accelerators for my clients and students. Because at the end of the day, you can also fast track your own journey, right? By simply implementing specific strategies, you can fast track your journey. And one of those things is also to check on your mindset, right? The mindset of survivor has to take a back seat. You have to focus on the future. When you see, depending on the type of future you want, then I say build a structure to support that future. So if you dream of being able to take vacations and your business is automated or your staff can handle it without you, then please build that structure that will help you get that life. I am one of those people, like when I tell my clients and students, listen, no wrinkles. The reason we work hard, right, to build this structure is that the structure will support growth and skill. But if you don't build a structure that allows you to bring in more volume of customers and clients into your business, then you're going to be struggling, right? And once you've built that structure, I would say it, 0 to 5 years, right? What else I've seen in my experience is that years 0 to 5 years, if you really, really get clear, if you stay focused on building 0 to 5 years, like year, right, from when you started to year 5, it's a great time to build and establish. Because I see people year 4, year 5, they've not grown, they've not built anything, so they're spiraling, right? They are locked into a certain mindset because they've not developed the skills, they've not acquired the knowledge that they require to build. Because there's a lot of knowledge required to build it right. Because until you, that's why I focus heavily on skills acquisition, mindset, internal work, because this is a lifetime journey. Well, the day you say you want to be a business owner, right? It's a new profession. It's a discipline. It's like if you want to be a doctor and you don't want to, you have to embody the knowledge and develop the skills that will help you function in that capacity. So that's what we do at Entrepreneurs Academy, Toyin Umesiri Academy, right? Is that at the end of the day, that build phase, 0 to 5 years on average, plus or minus. There are times when we talk about blitz scaling. Listen, if you have a lot of funds for marketing, right, you can shrink it down to 2, 3 years. If this is not your first business and you are ready to go, you can grow faster simply because you can apply existing knowledge that you have about business. But if you've never built a business before, this is your first attempt, give it 0 to 5 years. And this is why I always say many people underestimate how long it takes, including myself, right? Because when you set out to be an entrepreneur, the future is clear in your mind, right? You can see the big picture, the possible picture, the idea. The idea is usually fully baked. One thing I always say is that when you set out, it's like the architect. The architect has an image of the building in their mind. Now they have to put it on paper, your business plan, your building plan. You feel good. You feel good with your idea. You feel good with your drawing. Where the pain starts and the struggle starts is when you actually have to lay the first brick and actually build, right? Because you may draw the perfect building drawing, but if you give the perfect drawing, the perfect plan to unskilled workers, people who do not have skills experience, right? You give it to a contractor, right? I'm just using this analogy, right? The architect drew a perfect drawing. I want this rooms, that room, this, right? The dreamland, right? Painting a picture of our dreamland. And if you give it to an architect, a contractor that has never built a building before, and you're asking them to translate your perfect looking drawing to the perfect business, that's where the struggle starts, because experience matters, knowledge matters, skills matter in the build phase. So many people do not go beyond planning, perpetually planning, to building, right? Perpetual planning is when people consume content. You see people everywhere. Consuming content here, 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 perpetually planning, perpetually drawing, perpetually sketching. But I'm telling you, planning phase is what you do in your mind and on paper. Building phase is when you start putting structures in place. Many people don't move out of that planning mindset of, oh, I'm gathering information. Yes, I'm reading books. Oh, I'm taking this. Yes. Do that fast. That's why I say learn fast. Learn fast. Because there's also a speed to learning. You can spend 5 years learning, telling yourself you're going to learn. 5 years after, are you ready to build? And what I have done is with the accelerator, you can invest 10 weeks in actually speeding up your learning process with the accelerator program in my school. Because many people could have spent this entire year consuming content instead of building. Because the build phase is that phase that matters first. You can be planning, market research, you can be reading, but for how long? Right? There's DIY, I get it, but quickly move out of the planning phase by accelerating the speed of learning. Because once you learn, if you learn in a structured way, you can implement. But oftentimes, people also learn on the job. You're also going to keep learning every day, right? So learning never ends, but learn enough that allows you to build, right? To start that process of building so that when you try, you attempt, you learn more, you learn more, you learn more, right? Because you're going to learn while doing. You're going to learn more while doing. That's why even in my school, the accelerator program, for every lesson, the 10 lessons, right? For every lesson, there's doing, there's workbooks. Before you move on to the next, because many people would read and they go, oh, now I know. No. Skills. You can transfer knowledge, you can't transfer skill. You have to develop your own skills through repetition and practice. So for every lesson I teach, I put in implementation, practice, discipline, workbooks in it. Before you move on to the next thing, you have to implement. That's baked into my school. Because I know people are reading everything, feeling right. I know this IQ where we feel smart. You can feel smart about branding, you can feel smart about marketing, you can feel smart about sales, meaning you've absorbed the theory of it. The practice of it, though, is where you put yourself to work. You put yourself under pressure to perform and to produce results. That is what's required to build. Now, when you move into the growth phase, right? What usually happens is that when you want to grow, there are technically two ways to grow. Okay. Let me put three. But I always try to emphasize two. So let's say you're fully established year 5, 6 to 10, right? Year 5, if you've built it right, your business is established, you have clients and customers flowing in, people know who you are, people know what you do, people refer people to you, they are able to articulate your value, right? They know your value to the society in which you function. You're fully established, meaning you're not trying to prove anything to the world anymore. Your business is fully established, fully grounded. People know what you stand for. Okay. Year 5, 6 to 10 represents taking that to the next dimension. Have you built a structure where you can push? When I say push, this is the technical term. Where, let me also use another term. You can flood, you can attract, you can grow, you can acquire more customers. Let me use that. Have you built a structure where if more customers show up at your doorstep today, you can serve them with excellence without breaking a sweat? Do you have the back end, staffing, systems, processes, support to go out there and invite more clients and customers into your business in such a way that you can meet their needs with excellence? You can make promises to the marketplace. So one of the ways really is marketing, expanding the reach of your message, right? In the growth phase, you want more people because now you've proven, right? During the build phase, you're fully established, you're serving people, you know this works, right? Because the entrepreneur takes an idea into implementation. Remember, something that started and originated in the mind of people, right, is now existing in reality. You've built it in reality. You've created in the physical realm what started in your mind. That's why I always talk about, right, spiritual psychology, soul alignment, mindset, skill set, right, personal discipline, on and on. Because the discipline it takes to take something that is abstract from the spiritual realm, an idea is a spiritual gift. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but listen, you can, right, in your mind, it exists. Something that exists in your mind, you've been able to reach into the realm of, right, impossibility, and you've made it possible. That is a painful process. Creativity, creating in the world what started in your mind. Your ability to believe in the abstract, invest time, energy, and resources to create it, the audacity to implement your own thoughts and ideas, right? The audacity you have to say, listen, I'm going to make room for this idea. It belongs in the world. You've done that. Next level, you now want to invite more people to participate in your delicious, right? In your deliciousness. Right? You've created something of incredible value in the world. Now you want to find more people. And so, where do you find more people? That's the growth phase. Where do you find more people? How do you find more people? Because in the build phase too, you can refine your messaging, because many people may not even understand how incredibly challenging it is to design messaging and storytelling and branding and marketing that actually resonates and connects. Because when you start shifting marketplace as well, your stories may need to be adjusted. But that's another thing. That's why I support my students with a ton of story workbooks to craft a lot of stories, right? Because the stories you're going to craft at each stage will be different. So let's say in the growth phase, when you're growing, when you want to grow, part of the key of growing is to expand the reach of your message. So how do you expand? Do you expand locally? So let's say you're in a city, even though we're all, right, there's internet and all of those things. Absolutely. But the key is, where are your customers going to come from? Locally, nationally, internationally. Right? And have you put systems in place that can welcome those three groups? In your city, you can grow bigger. In fact, many people are not even, they're forgetting their cities today, right? Most people are online. They're forgetting that your city also can help you grow. That's another thing to watch out for. But let's say you grow in your city, you establish your business in your city. How many people in your city know you? Do you want to increase that? How do you reach those in your city? There are different marketing. That's when you start looking at placements. Where do you put your message? Marketing, right? Platforms, marketing channels. Do you do TV, radio? Right? There are different means. Social is one of them, right? But social also gives you this global reach. But in your city, there are things you can do: media, PR, newsletter. There are so many things you can do, events, right? To keep, right, expanding the number of people, keep growing. In fact, inviting more people into your business, right? That's what I love to say. You can also grow national. Many people may not realize, like, businesses that grow, you can grow by establishing agents network, sales network. Again, putting in systems and processes that will help you increase, attract more, more, more. That's when you say more, more, more. Give me more. You're ready. But before you say give me more, you need to put in processes. So growth phase is like more clients, please, more customers, please, more. Right? You have to be hungry for this. This is why you show up. This is when you become a business owner, not just an entrepreneur. And one of the things I've taught before is, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be a business owner. You can totally invest in a franchise, go and buy the process system structures, pay somebody good money. They will give you their logo, their systems, their processes structure, so you don't have to figure it out. Because the job of the entrepreneur is to build processes, systems, and structure around their idea. And if you just want to skip that entrepreneurship process, simply go and buy a franchise. They will give you their brand, they will give you their process system structures, they will give you the cheat sheets, and you pay for that. That's what you pay for a franchise. You don't have to figure it out. The entrepreneur has to figure all those things out. Process, system, process structures, brand, all of those things. You have to build it. That's why I said 0 to 5. It takes about 5 years to fully be established based on my experience, right? But you can accelerate it if you have, multi-million dollars budget for marketing. You can thoroughly buy all the ads. You can speed it up. You can be on the billboards. Listen, you can do that stuff. Yeah. So which one do you have? So the growth phase is where you just say more, right? We built this structure. Think about it as let's say you built a resort, right? In the build phase, you're building the foundation, you're laying the structure. Before you even lay the foundation, hopefully you've designed the plan. Then you build. When you now cut the ribbon, now your resort is open. What are you going to do? Market. You've built it, now you market. You've built it, now you invite the world to come and visit your resort. I use that analogy, right? So when you've built it right, in fact, you need to take pride in what you've built. If you've built it perfectly, you need to take pride in what you've built. And so you invite the world to say, come and visit my resort, come and visit my office. If you need this, this is what we do, this is what we do, this, right? And then the scale, right? The scale phase, not every business gets here because it's quite intensive, investment intensive, all of those things, right? And part of scaling also is international, right? So between growing, scaling, that's where we start getting into international, because you realize that most businesses that will ever get onto, say, Fortune 500, most of them, they get to that point simply because of international expansion. You open offices in London and Canada and Cairo, Egypt, China, wherever, because you are gathering customers and clients beyond your country, right? That's one of, but you can do international at any of those three stages, but definitely those who scale, there's a different mindset of scaling. So one of the things that I'll also call out before I wrap this up, and thank you everybody for joining today. One of the things I'll also call out is this idea that the mindset that plans, build, grows, scale, you have to flex. You have to really, really flex. You have to flex. You have to change. Even in the build phase alone, if you are the entrepreneur, you have to wear different hats, right? The mindset that does product in development versus the mindset that does marketing versus the mindset that does sales. That's one of the struggles I see a lot of first-time entrepreneurs face, is that they might be so tied up and so connected to their product and services that they don't even have the language to sell it. They are so connected to the technical side of, they know everything about their product, but they are not using the language and the skills of sales. Sales, in a way, is a little bit disconnected from technical and more connected to the emotional value of whatever you are creating. Watch out for that. That's why I always talk about IQ. IQ can create a product, but trust me, EQ is what sells it. How you make people feel is what will invite them in. IQ can be so smart about designing this website, this widget, this app, this amazing thing. Fantastic. We need engineers that build. But when it's time to sell, your ability to connect, okay, your ability to connect with someone else, with the clients, with the marketplace, is the secret of sales. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone that joined today. Let me know your thoughts, questions, and check out toyinumesiri.academy. Toyinumesiri.com also shows you the international side, so international classes. You can promote your work. And then for the entrepreneur side, classes, courses, workbook. I also have some free things for you that you can check out. Let me put the link. So that's Toyin.academy is the Entrepreneurs Academy. Check that out. You can access a free resource on content creation. Everybody's creating content. Get clear on the strategy that will help you achieve success in your content. Check it out there. And then if you want to send an email, you can email for the academy. You can email info@toyinumesiri.academy. And if you just want to reach out to me personally, you can go to toyinumesiri.com and just submit the form. There's a submission form at the bottom of the page. Look forward to hearing from you. Listen, guys, you can apply speed to all of this. That's why my programs serve as a catalyst to help you speed it up. So if you want to achieve business growth and success faster, if you want to learn how to build, grow, and scale your business faster, soon, achieve success sooner, then you want to reach out, you want to access my resources, because that's what we're doing. That's it. God bless you. Have a nice weekend.